Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here. This time around we're taking a look at the Rescue Patrol. We have here Stakeout, and we got Red Hot and his new version, Red Heat. And strangely enough, this time around we don't have a guy that's the leader of the patrol, strangely enough, from the G1 line. Although, according to the lore, Stakeout was once the leader of the patrol, but he got involved into some questionable and legally questionable motives and actions. So when the patrol came up for review, he was taken out as leader and replaced with Fix-It. So technically, I guess we can still say we do have a leader on the team, but just not the current leader. Interesting choice, but then again, we don't know how Hasbro and Takara are choosing which guys in the unit get made. But at any rate, we'll start the review out by taking a look at Stakeout. Here's the original Stakeout. As you can see, they went kind of heavy on the blue plastic with him. For articulation, he can bring his arm down all the way, but he can only raise it up so far due to a little bit of plastic here. For his legs, he can bend the legs up at the hip about 90 degrees, and he can bend his knees 90 degrees. Pretty much standard articulation for a Micromaster. The new one, however, as we can see, went a little bit different on the mold. So they gave him a black hip and white legs. But all in all, bears a lot of resemblance to the original toy. This one, you can rotate his arms at the shoulder a little bit more. They do rotate all the way, but you'll have to adjust the positioning of them. Let's get it up here where you can see it instead of doing it off camera. He can put his legs out into a full splits. He can raise his leg at the hip. About that far before it pops off, so about 90 degrees. And he can bend at the knee about 90 degrees. Oh, these ball joints. Alright, now let's put him into his alternate mode and take a look at how those compare. Alright, taking a look at his alternate modes. He's still a police car. Although the original one was designed to more look like the police vehicles heavily featured in the 1980s RoboCop movies. And if you watch my review of the Rescue Patrol, you will see that I do compare it with a model kit that I have of RoboCop's car. At any rate, how does this one roll on the table? Rolls very good. The new one here opts for a little more white on the body. And of course it's got some Cybertronian script on there. And of course they changed the lights to be the classic blue and red instead of just the solid red. So nice little extra detail. How does he roll on the table? Rolls very good. Easily see people having a lot of fun with that. Now, let's break out the other one and take a look. Here we have Red Heat versus Red Hot. No, it's Red Hot and Red Heat. As you can tell, obviously they are fire. They are going to be fire trucks. Here's the original one. As far as articulation goes, he can rotate his arm at the shoulder all the way around. He can also bend his legs at the hip about 90 degrees, and he can bend his legs at the knee about 90 degrees. So, pretty much standard for a MicroMaster. Red Heat here. He's a retool and repaint of Top Shot. So he'll pretty much act and behave the same way. We can rotate his arms at the shoulders, like so. He can do a full splits with his legs. Raise his legs at the hip about 90 degrees and bend at the knee about 90 degrees. So more or less the same articulation. But now let's transform them into their fire trucks and compare how those look. Now here we've got them in their fire truck modes. And all in all, they're about similar in what they offered. Here on the G1 version, you could raise the ladder almost straight vertically up, and it can rotate a full 360 degrees. And how well does he roll on his 4 Wii wheels? Pretty good for a fire truck. Although I think he's basically scooting at that point. But, at anywho, this one's the new one, and the retool does do it some justice. So they retooled it well to have a very nice long ladder. And it, like the originals, almost goes exactly straight up. And it does rotate a full 360 degrees. So all in all, pretty nice. And how does he roll on his wheels? Pretty good as well. Again, another nice retooling and work by Hasbro. Now, of course, like always, these guys do merge to form a gun. Let's see how this one will look. And here they are again on Sideswipe. Red Heat and Stakeout form a Biner Boost Salvage Blaster, according to their instructions. And while they connect together reasonably well, I'm not real impressed with it, as you can kind of see right down through there on the top. Not a real fan of how it connects. It at least looks better than some of them that have been out. But I still think the idea could use a little bit more work. But that's just my opinion, folks. What do you think of how it looks? Anyway, that concludes my comparison review of the Rescue Patrol. If you liked the video, please leave me a thumbs up here on YouTube. If you're new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button down below. And also ring the bell so you'll be notified when I post new content. Also, please consider sharing your thoughts on the Rescue Patrol in the comments down below. This is Sparkster1701 saying I will catch you all later.